So today, actually, you know what? Let's catch you guys up quickly. I've got all the windows removed. I've got everything pretty much removed. I've got a dummy tire drilled to go on the back because this bolt pattern is 4x114. So we got a dummy donut, so it's just a donut I drilled out to fit. And then we have the factory tire on this side. So that's about as far as I've done. I vacuumed up 99% of the glass. Still want to remove that piece right there, that piece, and the same on that side, just to make sure that nothing gets punctured into the gas tank. As of right now, the car runs. It has no O2 sensors on it or anything. It runs, drives, revs up very nicely. Come on, where's the key? There's the key. Oh, bad connection. Let's just jiggle and wiggle. Ready? Before I get it too hot in the shop, disconnect this. The temperature was snowing 14 days ago, and now it is plus 33 degrees outside. So I have all the doors shut in the shop, fans on, trying to keep it cold. But it's going to be a tough battle keeping this place cold. I'd like an air conditioner, but it'll probably never happen. What we're going to try to do today is relocate all this wiring. Kias are like Camrys. They have wiring that goes into the fenders. It's got lots of grounds. So I have never moved the wiring on a Kia. Don't really know what to expect, but I'm going to try my best. I'm probably going to take off the hood so that way I get better lighting underneath the hood, and we will start moving pretty much everything. If there's anything in this fender, I'd like to get it out. If there's anything in this fender, I'd like to get it out. I might have to take out the windshield today. Don't really have a car to throw it in outside as of right now. I'd like to get the fuse panel over here somewhere. I did notice that one of these spark plug wires is arcing out. It might have some damages to it, but I'm not seeing a huge issue with it, but it probably will be replaced before it's derbied. And we're going to go from there and see what we can move, and I'm going to kind of skip through it because I haven't done it before. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'll explain to you guys if it works. If it doesn't, I'll show you where I went wrong. So we'll be right back. Hopefully this wiring will be moved. Okay, it's getting pretty hot in here, and coming up with a little bit of an update. So I undid these two, and then there's two that go to here as well. You can see the two pins right there. They went down, and even with the fair size plugs that are on them, I was able to pull them back. So that big a plug, I was actually able to pull back through. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove the windshield. I'm going to drill a hole through the dash, a big hole, maybe just an X-Acto knife, remove half this, and feed the wires up through here where it is not going to affect the driver in any way. Once I have a bit of the dash out, probably going to take a drill or something and cut a hole right here, maybe a Sawzall if there's no wires behind it, and then feed the wires back up through here. And I'm actually thinking I can take this thing with a little bit of wire tracing, and actually, if I cut a big enough hole, actually have that right up here. So that'd be pretty cool to get the fuse panel right out from underneath the hood completely. As for passenger side, I don't know what this thing does, but I don't think it's important. I think this is mostly just headlights and horns. Now there was a ground wire over there, so I will be reattaching that. But other than an ABS wire, which should be right here. Anyway, there is no wiring actually in the passenger side fender of this car, so that's pretty nice. So I think the next step is to get the windshield out of this, and then we will I guess try to fish some wiring around, because I would actually really like to get this whole fuse panel on the inside of the car. That would make this a lot easier. So let's see what we can do here. Give me about, I think the video was 8 minutes long to get a windshield out. Let's see how long this one takes me. Be right back. Okay, so I've moved all the wiring. I got the fuse panel up here. This all has to be cleaned up. I had to bare some wires. This is how the key starts it. I think that I'm not too worried about it. I don't know where that went, to be honest. It probably went somewhere that was not important. I think this is a fuel shutoff switch right here, same as your Fords have. So for stock class, that might have to be good to get rid of it. It starts up really good. I'm going to come back and clean up the wiring. If you unplugged in, you lose your fuel pump. So I think that we are going to bypass that anyway. Even though we will probably be running our own lines to the fuel pump, I will probably be bypassing that anyway. Because this can also do figure 8, and figure 8 you can leave stock tanks, so I'm going to have to be talking to the guy that actually owns the car. So I think that is a fuel turn-off, just like the Fords have in the trunk. The inertia switch is the proper term. But anyway, I'm going to clean all this up. I did have to extend these two. I don't know what that was. Turns out you didn't need it. By the way, the windshield came out fantastically. It was awesome. Took it out with an X-Acto knife. I had to extend these two wires out of the fuse panel, which I had a couple left over from the ATV when I had, sorry, the ATV winch when I had installed that. So we just use those. I'll be taking them out and resaving them when we're done, just cutting them down here and then reusing them. Let me get all this cleaned up, and this will be getting spray foamed up here. I have my grounds right there. I also have another ground that goes right there. And yeah, so anyway, let me get this cleaned up, and I'll bring you boys and girls back and show you what she looks like. I'm actually pretty impressed with how far I was actually able to push the fuse panel in this. So anyway, I'll be right back after I get this cleaned up. So here we are about 20 minutes later. Got all the wiring cleaned up, zip tied together, space where it's still got space to move. We're going to be spray foaming in here, we're going to be spray foaming around here, and we're actually going to be putting the fuse panel cover back on. Oh, there it is. Just keep it safe and store it on the floor, you know. Boom. Put that there so everybody knows this is Kia powered. So, she runs. Oh, I'll disconnect the battery so it doesn't kill the battery overnight, just in case. So as of right now, I have all the wiring moved out of the engine bay. And the best part is I actually have the entire fuse panel out of the engine bay. So that means if you have your hood, your threaded rod holding your hood shut, and you blow a fuse in between heats, you can quickly pop it, check for fuses. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to, like, the horn, the you can go. Headlights, you can go. Headlight dimmer. We're going to go through this real quickly and tear out the ones that I think that are not necessary, and we're going to try to start this thing up. I'm going to be starting it on and off as well while we're doing it. So let's see how many fuses we can quickly pull out of this, and then we'll go from there. So that's quite impressive. I was able to pull a lot of relays and a lot of fuses, and I can pull this one once I put in my own gas tank. I can pull this 15 as soon as I put in my own gas tank. This 30s for ECU 2. I imagine we need that. That's right over here. Engine main, engine start, sensor, injector, ECU 1, ATM. Not really sure what that is, but I'm going to leave it. This 30 amp is ignition 1, ignition 2, and this is a BP plus B. It's a 50 amp. I got no idea what that is, but honestly, it sounds important. So what I'm going to go through now is I'm going to go through here and put black magic marker over the ones that do not matter and circle the ones that do matter. So then that way, when you're at the Derby, you don't have to look at all the fuses that are missing and say, oh my god, maybe one fell out. So we're just going to do this quickly, and then we'll be right back. So because I'm not running this car, I'm trying to make it so that the guy that actually is running it knows what fuses he actually needs. So you see the ones circled? Those are the ones you need. The ones that are blacked out, those are not the ones you need. So you got this all set and done. We're just going to go like that. She's on there. It says B+. Now that I see that, and it's the main power wire, so maybe I did need to keep that 50 B+. You know what a good rule of thumb is? If it's a 50 amp, you probably need it. You know, they don't really put 50 amps in some places that you don't need it. So, one final last go. Oh, bud. Purrs like a kitten. Mint! Sounds like she's got a bit of a turbo on her. I'm joking, she ain't got no turbo. But that is about it for today. For the interior wiring, I ain't got a whole lot planned. I'm pretty much going to pull it all the way from the bottoms of those doors over there, bring it to the cage. Same thing over here, pull it away from the bottom of the doors. Obviously leave the fuel pump for now, which is this wire. So leave this for now. Pull it all away from these speaker decks. Well, I guess not speaker decks because it's a wagon. And get all of it up basically behind the driver's seat. I'm going to try to even just tuck it into the backing of the seat. But yeah, as of right now, the wiring was actually not that difficult. It maybe took me 2 hours, and I've never done one of these before. So it's all kind of a learning experience, and I'm happy I was able to do it with you guys, to be honest. And the one thing I do like is I've seen other people on the internet put their fuse panels right here because they just take it from here and flop it over here with some zip ties and stuff. But it's right above your shifter. If that kind of falls into your shifter, that could be pretty bad because then you can't get it into a gear and you're trying to jerk it around and you end up breaking a shifter cable or it slows you down shifting. I'd rather try to take it and leave that shifter cable completely open. It is in a much better spot than Toyota's, which is right up front, so that could actually be a pretty big positive on this car. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching. The last thing we got to do is put some spray foam here. Put some spray foam in here just to make sure that, because these are actually very sharp, jagged edges. And then we got to run our positive, and then we're just going to ground our negative right to the body. Actually, you know what? We might ground it right to the motor because this already goes to the body. We'll probably take this right to the motor somewhere and do it like that. But everybody, this thing's coming along. It runs great. I'm going to be throwing that tire back on, but plenty more things to do. It's like 34 degrees today, Celsius. So it is hot outside. I'm covered in sweat. It's about 10 o'clock at night because it's too hot to do anything during the day. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Happy this thing runs. I think it drives. I may have unplugged some stuff that went to a transmission. I don't know. But we'll figure that out in an upcoming video. And thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow.